Starting five for both teams. One of the game changers in the NBA. We'll be watching Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, he's an exciting player, Kevin, with outstanding speed, and I love his aggressive attitude. He will explode when he gets into the open court, and he does so much for his team's tempo and pace when he's on the court.
And he also is incredibly adept at running the pick and roll. He almost always makes things happen when he instigates that play.
The Thunder made a special trip here for one game, back in Oklahoma City for the next one. 3 games back from the top seed. They're right in the mix with the other top teams.
Well, this is a special matchup we've got here today. Two of the great franchises in this league. A lot of great games between these two clubs over the years, Clark.
You know, ask them, Steve, as far as they're concerned, this game counts double time in the standings. It really holds a lot of weight with them.
Now, here's Chalmers. Wade passes to Bosch. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Well, you know, with LeBron James is the main post threat on Miami. The outside shooting touch of Chris Bosh fits perfectly to help them space the floor, and he continues to expand his range.
The offensive rebound. No good from Perkins. On defense, Oklahoma City. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
They came out flat that night and could never really get it going. Not their best effort for sure, Clark.
No, I agree with you, and I thought maybe they could find somebody to come off the bench and give them a spark, but it didn't happen.
And he gets it to go. Bosch has got his second basket. We talk about Bosch in his shooting range. He's trying to develop a reliable three-point shot as well.
Well, it's happened. In the playoffs last year, he shot a lot of threes. It's kind of a function of the Miami offense, trying to provide floor spacing for LeBron and Wade. But in some ways, it takes Bosch away from what's made him good, too, the slashing and the ability to score around the basket.
Here's Chalmers. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. The kick out to Bosch. Wade for 3. Thunder with the rebound. Their last encounter was in Oklahoma City.
And the early foul trouble they got themselves into the last meeting between these two clubs really kind of threw off their whole game, and they never could recover. That was a bad loss.
Now, here's Chalmers. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. From deep, James. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist. James has got himself on the board with 3 there.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And Steve said it just then. It was an ugly performance for them in that previous game. Would you agree that foul trouble was the big factor, Clay?
Well, Kevin, certainly it was one of the factors. I mean, they could have used more minutes from their starters, but there were a lot of things that didn't go well in that game. Well, his heart might be in Oklahoma City now, but growing up, Kevin Durant said he wanted to be, of all things, a Raptor. That's right, he was a Raptor fan. A lot of it, he said, was just wanting to be part of something new.
And going back to Durant, I'm sure the Raptors would have loved to have had him. I got to be honest, I did not know he grew up a Raptors fan.
I had no idea. I'm guessing maybe he fell in love with Vince Carter at the dunk contest.
Maybe that was it, yeah. Shot clock at 6. James dishes to Wade. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it.
Ibaka sets the pick for Westbrook. Lets the 3 fly, and Durant gets it to go. The assist by Westbrook. 6 points for Kevin Durant.
Well, there's plenty to like about him as a player, but, you know, one thing that really stands out is quick trigger. He can catch the ball in space, defenders all over him, but, you know, in an instant, lets that shot go, and he is accurate.
You know, something else with him, you can't forget about his skill as a pull-up shooter. I mean, you give him too much room, and he won't hesitate for a second to raise up and spray you with that J. You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Perkins. Butler comes in for Serge Ibaka. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Thabo Sefolosha. And for Bosch, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls, and the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller, and Bosch can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
A nice shot by Collison.
Yeah, he didn't have to slow down at all, guys. Just perfectly timed pass there.
LeBron against Butler. James kicks to Cole. Fires from 14. That's short off the rim.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
Westbrook passes to Collison. From the top of the key, again, the Thunder score. 43 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Durant against LeBron. Misses the three. Looking at Miami, they want to turn it around after the loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Butler with the ball. He's picked up by James, and it's Butler missing.
And little to no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there.
Here's Cole, guarded by Jackson. It's Anderson with the drive. Bosch, soft touch off the glass. Bosch has got 8.
Well, give credit where credit is due. Terrific assist inside.
Here's Jackson. He squares up and sinks it. Here's Allen. And that's not going to go. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. It's the Thunder. They lead by 1. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break.
Yeah.
And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, Steve, Clark, what do you think?
And you get a chance early on to see their depth. They got a nice effort from their bench players early in this game.
Yes, Steve, I tell you what, their subs have really packed the punch for them so far.
The Thunder with the lead.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Anderson is out there at Lewis, and it's Allen in at the 3 spot. Here's Fisher after the made shot from Dwayne Wade, and it's sent back by Anderson, and they're able to recover.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, Battier coming in here as a stretch 4. They've just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Outside Lewis. It's rebounded by Adams. The Thunder shooting at 50% in a decent groove. And that one's good from Fisher.
The lead changes hands once again. There has been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
Now here's Wade, averaging 19 points per contest. And it's Anderson that time on the assist by Wade. Anderson's got his first bucket in this one.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
Here's Fisher, right now averaging 5 points a game. Lock at 6. Here's Butler. No luck. Nice D from Anderson.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Lewis outside. Here's Chalmers. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
You know, people look at Mario Chalmers and say he might not be your typical point guard. He's not a big-time penetrator or playmaker, but he's a good fit for the Heat with his active defense and spot-up shooting from long range. I think it's a hand-in-glove fit, actually.
And Chalmers, a three-time All-American and NCAA champion his junior season at Kansas, received the Most Outstanding Player Award for that 2008 tournament.
Hit what was probably the biggest shot in Kansas history, the three-pointer that sent that game against Memphis into overtime that allowed the Jayhawks to go on and win that national championship.
Now here's Perkins. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. That drops. Ibaka's got it all tied up now for Oklahoma City.
That bounce pass got him the ball in rhythm. Nice play.
Chalmers dishes to Bosh. The shot misses, and Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. Perkins with a screen on Chalmers. Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. Fisher's got 5 now.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Now here's Chalmers, averaging 10 points per contest. Wade kicks to Bosh. Right side Bosh. Accurate with the jumper from the elbow. He's got 10.
Yeah, the defense just couldn't get a hand in his face. Couldn't challenge the shot.
Yeah, made his height advantage count that time. You know, with the recent success of Oklahoma City, you forget that in Kevin Durant's first season, they started out going 3-29, and I tell you what, you talk about their success, it's due to the resilience and perseverance and leadership of Kevin Durant and the rest of those guys.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Ibaka. And Kevin Durant is subbed in for Caron Butler. Wade against Westbrook. Wade gets the bucket. Well, there is a culture of hard work, as Clark was talking about, and the perseverance for this Oklahoma City Thunder organization. Their star players, Steve, get a lot of credit, but it's the whole organization, don't you think?
No question. It's the culture that was set. Scott Brooks has continued to kind of establish that atmosphere in the locker room. And they have players who just want to work and want to get better. And when you have a large group of people all with that same approach, you're going to be very successful.
Here's Cole, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Wade kicks to Cole. Allen passes to Bosh. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Bosh has got 12.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
It's Westbrook with the drive. Can't get it to go. LeBron with some nice D. The Heat have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. T. Wade on the wing. He's covered by Westbrook. And it's Cole missing. And here's Westbrook, averaging 22 points a game. Jackson, that's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got 3 assists in the game. And here's James outside. And the first half ends in a close one. Thunder lead by 2. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Scott, what exactly are they doing to take away your transition game?
Well, they're doing a great job of getting back. That's what they do. And we just have to make sure we get stops first and then it run out.
Scott, thank you. Guys, job one against this team. Get them out of transition.
Thanks, Doris. And, folks, the halftime show is coming up next. And then it's on to the third quarter. We'll step aside right now.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
From the 2K Sports Studios, welcome. The season is in its final stages. Let's look back at today's action so far. The Thunder are in a tight contest against the Miami Heat. They've benefited from some excellent contribution from their bench, providing scoring in bunches when called upon. It's been a major advantage. Reggie Jackson making an impact. Also getting into the mix, Kevin Durant. Also, Miami looking good in the first half. Two top-tier teams matched up in this one, giving the fans just what they hoped for. An impressive first half for Chris Bosh. His scoring output has been spectacular. They haven't come up with an answer in the paint for the big man. That'll be it for the halftime report. The second half is coming right up. Hope to see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Chris Bosh really making a difference here.
And what was most impressive was that his decision-making and shot-taking was very disciplined and efficient. Really an excellent half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense has given him, and he's not trying to do too much. I love the flow and rhythm he's playing with here.
Second half is underway, and here's who Scott Brooks has got on the floor. Backcourt is Westbrook and Cephalosha. Baca at the 4 with Perkins at the pivot. And it's Durant in at the small forward. Miami trailing.
You know, one thing with Scott Brooks, guys, he's very consistent with his message. You listen in on those timeouts, it's all about getting stops. Defense, 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 and letting their offense come from that.
Lewis with it. Guarded now by Durant. It's stolen by Ibaka. And he gets it to go. Ibaka's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Thunder. The Heat shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. And Clark, you mentioned Brooks' single-mindedness. He stayed pretty constant with his rotations, too.
And there's no doubt players appreciate knowing their role, but you know, a lot of critics have been surprised at how Brooks has stuck to his lineups. Some lineups that didn't seem to be all that effective. You know, his usual starting lineup with Cephalosha and Perkins on the floor hasn't been their best in terms of plus-minus, but Brooks very loyal to his starting group.
And here is Chalmers. He dishes it to LeBron. Outside for Lewis. And there's the call on Perkins. That'll be his second foul of the game. Adams, he's checked in for Kendrick Perkins. And so here is Miami. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Chalmers has got 5.
Yeah, something that makes him hard to defend is his ability to receive a pass and get off an accurate shot in one quick, fluid motion. So you better beware of where he is on the floor at all times.
One of the premier catch-and-shoot guys in the league, Steve. There's no question about it.
Miami has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Wade kicks to LeBron. LeBron gets the screen from Bosh. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Now it's a 4-point Heat lead.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Now here is Ibaka. He's got 5, and he gets it to go. Ibaka's got 7 points in the game. Heat have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. LeBron dishes to Lewis. James kicks to Wade. Looks for Bosh, gets it to him. Knocked loose. Lewis outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Miami needs to get a shot off. And LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Wade. 6 points for LeBron.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Yeah, I don't know, Clark. I think there might be even more defense in warm-ups. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Eric Spoelstra was saying to his team. There was no question what he was most concerned with, their lack of interior defense so far. Protect the rim. That's the priority. Quote, unquote. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there there for him, and he had to take it.
Westbrook passes to Sefolosha. And Westbrook, here we go. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
I think Westbrook may be the most explosive player in the game right now. I mean, you got Wade, Kobe, Derrick Rose, but I think Russell Westbrook, with his speed and quickness, is probably the guy right now.
And Westbrook, really a freak athlete. Clark, a terrific dunker.
Yeah, he's a guy you would just love to see in the dunk contest, Kevin, but he says he's more of a game dunker and might not shine in the exhibition type format, and I can understand that. The dunks that Russell does in games are so vicious and so posterizing that it's hard to create that same type of tenacity and energy in a contest. So I think there are some guys that are more geared towards dunking in games than winning dunk contests.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
Well, LeBron is far enough along now in his career where you can start to project some of his career stats, and they're staggering. I mean, he could end up the first player ever to end up with 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 10,000 rebounds. I mean, that's remarkable.
And again, Oklahoma City, no good. On offense, here are the Heat. They're on a 16-5 run. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And a quick look now at the best free throw shooting teams. Second, the Thunder.
And that's why this is an aggressive team, guys. I mean, they want to get to the rim because with that shooting percentage, why wouldn't you want to shoot free throws?
And Miami has possession. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. Here's Cole, guarded by Jackson. Here's Anderson. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Collison. And when you talk about LeBron's ability to pile up stats, whether it's scoring, rebound, or passing, Clark, he can do it all.
He really can. He's dominant in every facet of the game, and you love his durability and his stamina. He is a stat sheet stuffer supreme, and that's the highest level of stat sheet stuffing you can have, and he's at the pinnacle of the peak.
Well said. That pushes it to double digits. Cole's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the three-point line. That's 4 of the last 5. You got to run those guys off the line.
I agree, and the defense is practically giving them those shots, though.
Anderson with the block, and he recovers it. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's the Heat up by 10. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. In a moment now to check out our State Farm assist to the game, and what a pass it was by a talented point guard.
Well, this is what he does. This is the kind of plays he's known for, Kevin.
Miami leading by 10. LeBron playing down low with Bosh. Norris Cole and Dwayne Wade combine at guard, and it's Allen in at the small forward. That's the group in the game for the Heat.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Oklahoma City's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Wade against Westbrook. Outside Jackson. Look from Ibaka. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. 9 points for Serge Ibaka. James kicks to Wade. The feed to Bosh. Right block shot. Kendrick Perkins pulls it in. Thunder trailing by 10. Jackson down low. He's guarded by Cole. Good. And it's 8 points for Kevin Durant.
Boy, what a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
Now here's James. Out to Wade. Here's the three. Here's Bosch. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Boy, he crashed the boards with purpose right there. Well-deserved second chance points for him.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, Kevin, during that break, Coach Scott Brooks had some words for his team. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Westbrook dishes to Durant. Back to Westbrook. From past the arc, and he gets the bucket. And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosch all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And Steve, you have to think that at least 1 or 2 of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Heat.
How about the three-point shooting we're seeing so far, guys? Amazing.
Well, they've also really been dialed in with their jump shot. I mean, they have not missed much from mid-range today.
And as he has gained more experience in the league, Wade has taught himself to rely a bit more on his jump shot and a little less on attacking the rim. But still, you see his confidence really lies in his ability to attack the lane.
The shot's good from Westbrook.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
The Heat leading by 7. James outside. Wade outside. And the pass to Bosch. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Bosch has got 6 in the quarter. And Wade, still a player who thrives on getting in the lane, Clark, and for his career, under 30% from long range.
Yeah, you know, his jump shot is more of a mid-range weapon, quite honestly. He loves the bank shot, loves the floaters, and is always looking to get somebody in the air with that pump fake. And usually, more times than not, guys bite, and he gets free throws.
He gets to the line, you're right. Now, here's Chalmers, following the shot by Kevin Durant.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times, an easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Westbrook kicks to Durant. It's deflected. Launches it. Perkins. The second chance points on the tip in.
Well, I'm impressed with the determination he showed right there, getting himself in a good position under the glass. Did his work early there.
Yeah, with the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to go to.
And then the nifty touch to tip it in. That was beautiful. Well, it's kind of been the story here today, hasn't it, Clark?
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Outside Westbrook. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Mario Chalmers picks one up.
Good game for Westbrook. 10 points, and there's a nice number in his assist column as well.
Yeah, it is a nice number. He's taken it upon himself to really find his teammates and to get this offense going.
The Heat leading by 11. Now, here's Chalmers. 1:03 left in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 5. Wade outside. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Pass to Durant. Wide open. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Here's Chalmers. There's 37 seconds left in the fourth. Passes it to Bosh. And Durant with the block.
And nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
And little to no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there.
Here's Chalmers. And so it's Miami winning this one. Both teams played well, but the...
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, what do you think about the trend right now for this basketball team in these last few games?
We got better today. That's the most important thing. We got better. We didn't take a step backwards like we did in our last 2 games. So, we're happy about that.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that.